I'm not totally sure how this came up today, but it was in the 19th century when we started celebrating birthdays. Larry was working out in the field with Larry, and Larry looks at Larry and said, "Weren't you born around this time of year?" And Larry says, "I think so. Wait. And they looked at the tick marks on the tree, and he's like, "Oh, this is the day I was born." And they're like, "Oh, well, how am I going to remember that?" "Well, here's a stick. Here, take that stick and, take that on your birthday." So anyway, birthdays were nothing until we made them something because we got so bored. So you count your birthdays. And then there's like holidays. And then there's anniversaries. When I see somebody post, "Congratulations, a celebration, they've been married 70 years or 40 years. I'm thinking, oh my God, they have so much undoing to do. Basically, they're going to die, rinse, repeat, and do this over again until they figure it out. But this whole concept of marriage and how we came up with this, marriage started with people that did not necessarily like each other or love each other or think they were attracted to each other. They had to do things that they didn't want to do. But marriage happened because of property, and it was a financial thing. And then church got involved and like, we can make this thing, make them together forever. We'll take the kids, we'll take whatever. None of that matters. But the bottom line is, when you meet somebody, you feel the tingles, you just enjoy the tingles, and maybe you get pregnant, maybe you don't, you have the kid, you get rid of it, you give it to them, whatever, the cow raises it. But you feel the tingles and then you move on because they do end. They do end. But because you got locked into this lip lock with attorneys forever, you're like, let's make it work. You're never going to find why you're here, ever. Your comfort zone is making pain tolerable. Why would you do that? That just boggles my britches. So because we've been so bored and we have birthdays and anniversaries and Larry started counting them, it's like, and then we had little gatherings and celebrations. And now look at the expectations and the reality of birthdays, promposals, wedding anniversaries. Oh, make it special for us because we've tolerated the crap out of each other for such a long time. No, we are not here to do that. All of this time that you're stuck with this person, you are not finding who you are. So your life is basically terminal unless you step out of it now. Think about this too. I know you can't do this because you're so busy looking at this thing in your hand. But if you close your eyes, and I'm going to take you down to meditation, not now, but if you close your eyes and you visualize 100 years ago, we didn't even have the television. You woke up in the morning. What did you do? How did you feel your day? How did you fill those hours? Yeah, you probably ate a few meals. You probably did some chores. What else did you do? Did you go out and play and fantasize and build things? Yeah, you did. You went exploring. You found insects and bugs and all kinds of fun things. And now you don't even want to get dirty. And I do it along with you. So I'm closing my eyes and I'm going with you. So please you don't need to watch. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes and just relax. Just breathe for a moment. I'm going to dive right into it. I don't need to take you down this long path because I'm going to destroy it shortly. But just close your eyes and breathe and listen to my voice. And I'm going to show you the world through your eyes first. So as we're sitting here silently, just take deep breaths, cleansing breaths. Just go at your pace. I don't regulate you. Find something that makes you just totally and just collapse once and then stay in that collapse state. When I was going through cigarette cessation, when I was stopping, that was what he did. He brought you down to where you're really feeling lumpy. And then he says, okay, you're going to take one huge breath. And at the end of that breath, you're going to let your body collapse. You go, and you do. And then you're there. So go there. Be right there. And in this state, I want you to see yourself at night in the middle of New York City. You're standing on a sidewalk where you look up and all you see are the massive sides of buildings that are all TV screens. They are billboards. They're flashing. They're overstimulating the lights, the sounds, the cars, the people. Just look at that screen. Watch it. Look around as you see what's going on in New York City. People bustling by, nobody looking at anybody. Everybody's looking at their phones. Everybody's looking down. Everybody's bumping into each other, getting angry at each other. They're in a hurry. They're going somewhere. They have to keep going. I would always say why, but they have to keep going. Okay, then breathe. Go back from New York City. Go back to your calm breathing. Calm breathing. And I want to take you back. Oh, I don't remember what it was. It was a while back. The war in Afghanistan. The war in Iraq. Go to a war and you're in a bunker. You're on the side of a hill with your buddies in a trench. And you're hearing bullets flying over your head. You're seeing bombs go off. You feel this going on all around you and your heart is racing. You can't stop it from racing. You're afraid at any moment you're going to blow up or the guy next to you is going to blow up and you're going to have to experience that. And you know it's going to ruin your life. You're in those trenches and you don't know why. You did it because it was going to be the thing to do after high school. It was going to help you because you didn't know what else to do. And now it might kill you. You're in those trenches and you hear the sounds and you see the one come to your buddy. And let's lose that screen. It's not necessary. And now you're watching the news on your 84-inch TV and you're standing right next to it. They're giving you videos and play-by-play of everything going on in the world, and you can't stop watching. You are staring at it, and your stare is like an energy bolt of lightning going to everything that is going on. You are feeding that monster. Everything you see that is icky, that you think you hate, you love it because that's all you're paying attention to. Those things you hate, you are making bigger and bigger because you've got your gas pump in their side. Without you, they can't exist. When you unplug from something that makes you feel icky, you turn away and you pivot and you don't make it work. You don't console it. You know it makes you feel icky, therefore you pivot and you let it go and you never look back. I'm going to take you to my world now. I was in that world with you. My life was chaos. One of my last big memories was before COVID. And I was in the waiting room at Wood Creek in Puyallup because I was sick. I was sick a lot. I was sick, physically sick. Because I didn't know what else to do with my life. I let myself get sick. And so I did. So this particular day, I was in the waiting room. They gave me a mask because I was not well and the room was full, but I had no choice. I was sitting by the window and it was raining outside. And I looked outside and I saw the rain and it felt so cool and I needed to get outside and lay on the concrete because it was so hot. So I got up, and as I started walking, I thought maybe I should just go in the restroom. And I went to open the door, and I turned the knob, and it was locked. I fell, and I passed out right there in the waiting room. Next thing I know, the room was evacuated, and they had people over me, like asking me what my name was and who the president was. And then they took me to the hospital, which was like a quarter mile away, and I'm sure it cost my insurance a fortune. And it was just me knowing so much more that I was allowing myself to stay stuck in the human life. So when I was on 23rd, in October of 9 years ago, 16, I literally stopped from my walk and I looked up and I said, my life isn't working. I wasn't happy. I was in a marriage that I despised. Everything was wrong. But I stayed there because that's what we do. My life looked good on paper. And I looked up and I said, my life isn't working. So I don't know who you are. I had no church. I had no God. But I said, as of this moment, I am giving you my life. I surrender. And it was as if I was taken over because the second I said that out loud, a voice said, go that way. It was immediate. It said, go that way. And then it said the next thing, and then the next thing, and it has never, ever left my side. So the world you live in, you're standing at the big screen and you see all this going on because you're feeding it and you're getting sick and you're with people you don't want to be with. You have to tolerate what they expect of you. And I stopped on that day. And when I saw there was more, I literally pivoted. Not physically, my soul. I knew what this side felt like, and this was brand new to me. So every bit of the part behind me, I knew what it felt like, and so I had nothing to lose. So I released it. I said, you show me the way. Piece by piece, every part of my old story has been removed from me. There's nothing attached to me. There's nothing that I care about. I don't care if it's your birthday or anniversary or Christmas. I've been without humans for years and none of that stuff is real. You've immersed yourself in expectations about the big wedding day so the woman can be glamorous because it's an expectation you created. If we just don't carry out those expectations because you earned it, because you're this old and you waited so long, whatever, do what I did. And here's what you will see. When you pivot and you surrender, you can't see behind you. All you see, the colors changing, the light getting bright. And so those people who are attached to you, nibbling at you, telling you who God was, Patty, and who this is, it's like, you have no fucking idea, people. You have no idea. You're in this world where you have all these roles to play and expectations, but none of it is real. You think you have to do it. I did too, until that day, and then I stopped. Nothing mattered anymore. Nothing matters over here. It's bliss. Mount Shasta's right there. I choose bliss and living on this side of the world. And all it is you deciding that that space you occupy where you feel all those feelings and all those people are coming at you and you have jobs and things matter. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Not one thing matters. When you release it all and you just pivot, take a deep breath and go stand and look at the mountain. Stand at the ocean. Let nothing matter. And surrender. And say, you show me the way. And then you, your higher self, what is no longer plugged into that stuff, is able to walk you down your path now because you chose you this time. You chose you.